Here I share with you the story of the Galapagos land iguana, a quiet island creature that has survived for millions of years in a landscape shaped by lava, dust, and relentless sun. And this harsh environment has turned it into one of the most remarkable reptiles found on the Galapagos Islands. When you watch it for a while, you begin to understand that its calm behavior is not laziness, but a deeply rooted rhythm shaped by thousands of years of adaptation to dry soil, sparse vegetation, and extreme temperatures that define its life. As it moves slowly across the warm volcanic rocks, you can see how precisely it uses its powerful body, because every motion is designed to conserve energy while taking advantage of the few moist areas that offer food and shelter. Its yellow coloration feels like a reflection of the islands themselves, because it mirrors the sun, the dust, and the dry ground that give an appearance that seems almost like a creature from another age and sets it apart from all other reptile. Yes, when it feeds on large cactus pads, you notice how skillfully it uses its strong jaws, because these plants are not only food but also water sources, and it has learned to handle even the thorny parts in a way that keeps it safe. During the hottest hours, it retreats into shaded areas, because its body reacts strongly to extreme temperatures, and these resting periods reveal how closely its daily rhythm is tied to the climate of the islands and how essential each pause is for its survival. Its interactions with other iguanas are usually peaceful, because it avoids conflict and focuses on finding food, conserving energy, and choosing safe spots that protect it from the sun and predators, creating a surprisingly harmonious daily arrow. In the end, the Galapagos land iguana shows that even a quiet creature can carry an extraordinary story, because its behavior, its adaptation, and its calm presence make it one of the most fascinating inhabitants of an island world that has remained unchanged for millions of years. The Galapagos land iguana reveals at first glance how deeply its life is tied to the dry islands, because its yellow coloration, its powerful body, and its calm presence reflect an environment that has shaped it for millions of years and gives an appearance that feels almost prehistoric. When you observe it, you begin to understand that its movements are not random, but part of a precise rhythm designed to conserve energy while taking advantage of the few shaded areas that offer protection from the intense sun. Its diet is especially fascinating, because it feeds on large cactus pads that serve not only as food, but also as a vital water source, and has learned to handle even the thorny parts in a way that keeps it safe while still providing valuable moisture. As it moves slowly across the dark volcanic rocks, you can see how skillfully it uses its strong limbs, because every motion is designed to save energy while taking advantage of the few moist places that offer food and shelter. During the hottest hours, it retreats into shaded areas, because its body reacts strongly to extreme temperatures, and these resting periods reveal how closely its daily rhythm is tied to the climate of the islands and how essential each pause is for its survival. Its interactions with other iguanas are usually peaceful, because it avoids conflict and focuses on finding food, conserving energy, and choosing safe spots that protect it from the sun and predators, creating a surprisingly harmonious daily routine. When you combine all these details, you begin to understand that its apparent slowness is actually a form of survival strategy, because every pause, every hesitation, and every step is part of a finely tuned plan that allows it to thrive in this harsh environment. In the end, the Galapagos land iguana shows that even a quiet creature can carry an extraordinary story, because its behavior, its adaptation, and its calm presence make it one of the most fascinating inhabitants of an island world that has remained unchanged for millions of years. The Galapagos land iguana is impressive in size, with adults often reaching 1 meter and some individuals growing up to 1.5 meters, making it one of the largest reptiles on the islands, and reminding us that its ancestors once lived in an age when enormous dinosaurs ruled the earth, and reptiles existed in forms far beyond anything seen today. When you imagine how this lineage survived across millions of years, you begin to see that its powerful legs, massive body, and resilient skin are direct heirs of an ancient reptile history stretching from the age of dinosaurs to the present island world. and this legacy is visible in every slow and deliberate movement it makes. During the mating season, the land iguana displays behavior that shows how important strength and endurance are for its species, because males present their bodies, bob their heads, show their yellow flanks, and attempt to impress females with calm but striking gestures that have remained unchanged for thousands of years. Once a female accepts, a short but precise mating follows, with both animals closely connected. And this moment marks the beginning of a long reproductive process that requires patience and energy from a species living in one of the driest environments on the planet. After mating, the female may travel long distances across the hot volcanic terrain, searching for a place where the soil is soft enough to dig a nest and safe enough to protect the eggs from predators, which is a significant challenge in such a harsh landscape. Eventually, she lays around 20 eggs, covers them carefully, and leaves the nest. Because like all iguanas, Galapagos land iguanas are egg-laying reptiles, and the entire development of the young takes place underground, warmed by the island's heat and protected by layers of sand. The eggs remain buried for roughly 3 months, and when the young hatch, they must first dig their way upward, often spending several days fighting through the soil before reaching the surface, making the struggle their first major test of survival. When they finally emerge, they are small, vulnerable, and immediately surrounded by danger, yet their instinctive alertness, rapid escape behavior, and ability to hide among vegetation reveal that even the youngest iguanas already carry the ancient survival strategies of a lineage that has endured since the age of the dinosaurs. Across the Galapagos Islands, land iguanas live in a landscape shaped by open plains, rugged rocks, dry shrublands, and sun-drenched slopes, and this diversity of habitats allows the animals to spread across wide areas, with each island developing its own unique population over thousands of years. As you travel across the islands, you see iguanas in every possible size, with some individuals small and slender, others medium-sized and sturdy, and still others appearing like true island giants, showing how strongly food availability, climate, and soil conditions influence the growth of each animal. Their colors vary just as widely, with some displaying bright yellow, others deep orange, some appearing almost brown, and others marked with darker patches. And this diversity arises from sunlight, age, genetics, and the specific island they inhabit, making each iguana visually unique. On certain islands, their numbers are remarkably high, because abundant food, few predators, and ideal nesting sites allow large groups to thrive, spreading across wide areas and becoming such a natural part of the landscape that they seem almost woven into the rocks themselves. On other islands, however, only small populations remain, because harder soil, sparse vegetation, or invasive species make survival more difficult. And these contrasts reveal how delicate the ecological balance of the archipelago is and how easily the number of iguanas can when you observe them in daily life, you notice that their behavior also differs from island to island, with some individuals acting shy and retreating quickly, while others appear curious and calm, proving that each island has shaped its own small culture reflected in the animals that live here. Their presence across so many islands demonstrates that they are true survivors, having learned to adapt to heat, dryness, tough terrain, and changing food sources. And this adaptability explains why, despite many challenges, there are still so many of them today. In the end, this variety of colors, sizes, behaviors, and habitats shows that the Galapagos land iguana is not just a reptile, but a reflection of the islands themselves. Because each animal carries within a piece of the landscape, the climate, and the history that shaped this extraordinary world. When you look at the Galapagos land iguana across its entire island world, you realize that its life is not only about feeding and resting, but about constantly navigating heat, shade, rocks, and open plains, each of which presents new challenges and reveals how deeply the animal is connected to this harsh landscape. It becomes especially clear how much these animals shape their surroundings, because everywhere they live you find small paths, chewed plant remains, and characteristic marks in sand, proving that they have used the same routes for generations and influence of vegetation in ways that only become visible upon close observation. In the early morning hours, you often see groups warming themselves because the cold night has lowered their body temperature, and this shared sunbathing shows how essential heat is for their mobility and how closely their daily rhythm remains tied to the climate of the island. As the sun climbs higher, many retreat into shaded areas, while others stay active and move across the rocks. And these behavioral differences show that each island population has developed its own strategies for dealing with heat, dryness, and shifting environmental conditions. Sometimes you see iguanas near coastal areas, even though they are strictly land animals. And this behavior occurs because the cool ocean breeze helps regulate their body temperature, demonstrating how flexibly they use their environment to conserve heat. In regions with particularly high numbers of iguanas, you can observe how they tolerate one another, because although they are not social animals, they accept the presence of others as long as food is abundant, and this peaceful coexistence reveals how stable certain island ecosystems have become. At the end of this film, I want to sincerely thank you for exploring the remarkable world of the Galapagos land iguana, because your time and attention support the creation of new nature documentaries and help bring the extraordinary wildlife of these islands closer to all six viewers. If you enjoyed this film, I truly appreciate your subscription and a like, as your support makes it possible to continue producing new projects for my channel Zeitgeschichte Erde. Thank you for your trust, and I look forward to welcoming you again in the next film.